Hey everyone, slunhevs, and welcome back to English Unleashed. I'm Tom.
And I'm Sarah. It's great to have you with us, whether you're listening for the first time or coming back for more.
This podcast is designed to help you improve your English in a real, natural way.
That's right. In each episode, we focus on everyday English, the kind of language native speakers really use.
And today's topic is one that touches all of us: feelings and emotions. We all feel happy, tired, angry, nervous, proud. But instead of just saying, I'm tired, I'm sad, or I'm scared, we're gonna teach you colorful expressions, idioms, and phrases that make your English sound more natural and expressive.
So, here's how today's episode works. First, we'll listen to a short conversation between two friends. It's full of real-life situations and emotional expressions. Try to listen carefully, see how much you understand.
Then, after the dialogue, we'll go through it together, slowly and clearly. We'll explain all the new phrases, define the idioms, and show you how to use them in your own life.
We'll also share personal stories and extra examples to help you remember. So get ready, grab a cup of tea or your favorite snack, and let's dive in. Ugh, Josh. I can't even tell you what kind of week I've had. I'm just feeling completely done in. I don't remember the last time I felt this tired.
Yikes. You really do look a bit under the weather. Are you okay? Was it a cold or something worse? Worse.
I was seriously sick on Tuesday, and fevers, chills, body aches. Honestly, I felt like I was at death's door. I even thought about going to the hospital.
Oh no, Emma, same. That sounds awful. But hey, you're looking a lot better now. I'd say you're almost as fit as a fiddle again. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Thanks.
Well, rest, soup, and a lot of complaining helped, I think. But then just when I started feeling better, work went crazy. My manager totally threw a wobbly on Thursday this egg. He shouted and got angry in front of the whole team.
Wait, really? What happened? Was he just in a bad mood? Or did something big go wrong?
Well, he was worse than usual. He was grumpy all day, shouting, slamming doors, blaming everyone. No one dared speak to him.
Oh man, that must have been tense. I thought my week was stressful, hen, but yours takes the prize. Although, I had a little drama too. I was in the elevator yesterday, and it suddenly stopped for a second and jerked. I jumped out of my skin, no. I thought it was gonna drop.
Oh, wow. That sounds terrifying. Even the thought of being stuck in a lift makes my heart race.
Yeah, I took the stairs today, just in case.
Smart move. We both seriously need a quiet weekend after all that.
It really was. From being sick to scary elevators to angry bosses. But the great thing is, their conversation was full of real, expressive English.
Now, let's take a look at all the idioms they used, one by one. We'll explain what they mean, how you can use them, and give some extra examples from real life.
All right, Ned, let's start with the very first idiom Emma used. She said, "I'm feeling completely done in." This is a really natural British expression. When someone says they're done in, it means they are completely exhausted, physically or mentally. It's much stronger than just saying, "I'm tired." It's like, I have nothing left, but I can't move and I need to lie down.
Yes, and you'll hear this a lot in everyday conversation, especially after a long, busy, or stressful day.
Imagine coming home after hours of running errands, dealing with traffic, standing on your feet,
And you just collapse onto the couch and say, "I'm absolutely done in."
Yeah, I've used this so many times. One day last year, I had 5 back-to-back lessons at school.
The students were great, but so full of energy. Quotient, questions, jokes, moving around the room.
I loved it, but when I got home, I didn't even cook dinner. I just said to my wife, "I'm done in." I went straight to bed.
Oh, I know that feeling. For me, it was after a long travel day. I had to catch an early flight, then wait around at the airport, then sit through a 2-hour delay. And by the time I reached the hotel, I felt like I had been walking for 3 days.
I looked in the mirror and thought, "You are done in, girl."
Yeah, and it's not just physical. You can feel done in mentally too, like after an intense meeting or a long day full of decisions. Now, Sarah, let's give our listeners 2 examples.
After dealing with that client presentation all day, I was completely done in.
Sure.
wasn't I feeling today?
Yeah.
Well, he looked done in after organizing the wedding by himself.
Great. So remember, this isn't a word for just a bit tired.
It's when you feel wiped out. Your brain, your bod, your mood, assent, everything is tired.
So next time your friend asks, "How was your day?" and you've had one of those days, just say, "Honestly, I'm done in."
It's short, it's expressive, and it sounds just like a native speaker.
Okay, now let's look at another very common expression that Josh used.
You look a bit under the weather.
This is such a useful phrase. If you're under the weather, it means you're not feeling well. Maybe you have a cold. Maybe your head hurts. Maybe you just feel a bit off. Not seriously sick, but definitely not okay.
Right, and this one is really common in English. It's a gentle, polite way to say someone seems a little unwell, without going into much detail.
Here's another one. He's under the weather, so he won't be at the meeting.
I actually used this last week. I had a slight headache, my throat felt dry, and I just didn't have much energy.
But it wasn't bad enough to stay in bed all day.
When my friend asked how I was doing, I just said, "I'm okay, just a little under the weather."
Yeah, it's perfect for those times when you're not really sick, but you're definitely not your best self either.
Yeah.
For example, when I don't sleep properly 2 nights in a row, I don't feel sick, but I do feel weak and slow.
That's when I'd say, "I'm under the weather, nah. I think I just need rest."
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's also the kind of thing you might say at work if you're feeling off, but don't want to make a big deal about it.
Sorry if I'm quiet today, I'm a bit under the weather.
And it works well in messages or emails too. Like, hi, just wanted to let you know I won't be in today. Feeling a bit under the weather.
It's such a natural and friendly way to explain how you're feeling without sounding dramatic. Not I'm sick, Masak, but I'm under the weather. It's softer, more casual.
One more thing, and turn. This idiom doesn't have anything to do with the actual weather.
Even if it's sunny outside, you can still say you're under the weather.
So remember, if you're feeling a bit off, well, maybe a headache or you're too tired to focus poking, just say, I'm a little under the weather.
All right, Ned, now this one is a little dramatic, but also very common and kind of funny.
Emma said, I was almost at death's door on Tuesday. This doesn't mean she was actually dying. It's just a way of saying, I felt extremely sick.
Very weak, very tired, really unwell. Maybe from a flu, a fever, or food poisoning.
Yes.
It's a great example of exaggeration without it. We sometimes use big expressions like this to make our story more emotional or more funny.
Saying you were at death's door is like saying, I felt terrible tonight, like I could barely move.
For example, you could say, I had the worst stomach bug, clown. I was at death's door all weekend.
He looked like he was at death's door before the doctor gave him medicine.
I actually said this a few years ago when I caught the flu during winter. I was coughing, sneezing, sweating, everything hurt.
I couldn't even sit up in bed. I texted Sarah and said, please send soup.
I remember that. You sounded awful dying, but you also sounded very dramatic.
I've definitely used this too.
Once after food poisoning, I couldn't keep anything down for 2 days. My mom called to check in, and I said, Mom, I think I'm at death's door. Of course, I was okay a few days later, Hasley, but it really felt that bad in the moment.
Exactly, it's a dramatic phrase, but it's often said with a little humor or sarcasm.
You're not actually dying, but you feel close away. Or at least, it feels like the worst day ever.
And people often use it to get sympathy too.
Yeah.
Like when you want someone to say, oh no,
Yeah.
poor you.
Yeah.
It's a way to make your story sound more serious, Valius, or more entertaining.
Right.
Right, you can also use it when talking about someone else. For example, she didn't get out of bed for 3 days. She was at death's door.
So if you feel very sick or want to describe a day when your body just gave up, try saying, I was at death's door. It adds emotion, drama, bela, and it sounds very natural in casual conversation.
All right, say, after feeling done in, under the weather, and even at death's door, what happens when you start to feel great again?
That's when you say,
I'm fit as a fiddle. This is a fun, old expression that means you're feeling healthy, energetic, and strong.
It's a very positive phrase, like saying, I'm back to normal, or even, I feel amazing.
yes, and even though the word fiddle means a musical instrument, it's not really about music. It's just an old English phrase.
Saying someone is fit as a fiddle means they're in great shape or full of life. For example, after a week of rest, she's fit as a fiddle again. Or, don't worry about my dad, son. He's 80, but he's still fit as a fiddle.
I remember saying this after recovering from a nasty cold. I'd been sick for 3 or 4 days, just lying around feeling awful. Then one morning I woke up, made coffee, and thought, I feel fit as a fiddle. It felt like magic.
My energy came back all at once.
For me, it was after I had surgery on my foot.
I couldn't walk properly for weeks. But after therapy and rest, one day I went for a short jog.
And I texted my friend, guess what? I'm fit as a fiddle. It felt so good to move freely again.
Yeah. You can also use this idiom to describe other people. Like, you were sick yesterday, but today you're fit as a fiddle.
Or even to compliment someone who looks great. Wow, you're looking fit as a fiddle today.
It's also great after recovery from a stressful time. Not just physical sickness kinds, but after feeling tired or overwhelmed. If you've had a good rest, a holiday, or a quiet weekend, and now you're full of energy again, you can say it.
All right, now let's talk about a phrase that sounds a little silly, but it describes something very real. Emma said her manager threw a wobbly on Thursday. Yes, sir. This is a very British expression, and it means that someone had a sudden emotional outburst. Usually it's about anger, but it could also be frustration, crying, or just a total meltdown. It's not quiet anger, it's very noticeable and sometimes embarrassing. So, for example, he threw a wobbly when he couldn't find his phone.
Or, my boss threw a wobbly when we missed the deadline. It often comes out of nowhere, saying, 1 minute someone's fine, and the next minute they're shouting, complaining, or losing control. I've seen this happen at work before. Once, a team member forgot to save a document, and we lost 2 hours of work. Our manager was usually very calm, but that day, she completely threw a wobbly. Papers slammed on desks. Voices were...
Oh wow, that sounds intense. I remember a moment like that too. What? But at home.
My little cousin once threw a wobbly because we cut his sandwich the wrong way. Literally, hey, triangle instead of square. Total meltdown. Tears, shouting, everything.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's not just for adults. You can also use it for kids, especially when they suddenly cry or scream. So, for example, my toddler threw a wobbly in the supermarket because I said no to sweets.
And it's usually said in a kind of funny or light way.
Yeah.
And said like, oh no, here we go again. It's not the same as saying he got angry. It's more dramatic, more emotional confident, and sometimes even a little bit childish.
That's a good point. If someone throws a wobbly, it's not just about being angry. It's about how they show it. Loud, messy, and kind of over the top.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And here's a tip. This phrase is usually informal, so you'd use it when talking to friends, not formal writing or business emails.
And that brings us to the end of today's episode. We really hope you enjoyed exploring all these powerful expressions for feelings and emotions.
We'll be back next time with more everyday English. Thanks for being us pro, and keep practicing, keep smiling, and keep learning.
This has been English Unleashed. I've made your space to grow with real, natural English. See you next time.